Hello, my name is Al-Mohannadi, and these are my colleagues, Mamun Rawashda and Konstantinos Kakosimus. We're from Texas A&M University at Qatar, and today we're going to present to you our project, which is titled Product X, which is an ongoing experiment in the chemical engineering program in project-based learning and incorporating sustainability. Texas A&M University at Qatar is a branch campus of Texas A&M University in College Station. We're a little bit further away from College Station, but we hold the same morals and we hold the same amount of research and commitment to education. Qatar is a small country in the Middle East. We have a small population of 2.5 million. Our official language is Arabic and English, and we are the largest producer of natural gas and LNG, and we'll be the host of the World Cup 2022. Texas A&M University sits in a very unique place, which is Education City. Education City is made up of six international universities, which are Texas A&M, Carnegie Mellon, Georgetown University, Northwestern, Cornell, and Virginia Commonwealth, as well as a local university, which is Hamad bin Khalifa University. Each branch campus majors in a certain discipline. Texas A&M is covering engineering, and we work with these branch campuses in the undergraduate education. Texas A&M, we were thinking on how do we involve our students into incorporating sustainability in their daily life, but also how to make them live it, not just and apply it into their learning, but also their life outside after their graduation. So we started with this simple poster. It doesn't give much information, it just says the straw. And then we ask our students certain questions like, do you want to solve a real world problem? Do you want to build a sustainable community? And do you want to use your creativity and also interact with people from around the campus, but also people around the different campuses, and also network with people outside the campus from like stakeholders and so on. We asked them to come and join us, and we actually had few students come because they were intrigued by this. So when the student came, we first asked them these three basic questions. We said that there are products all around us. So have you ever thought about designing a product before, or have you went through the experience of designing a product? Then we asked, okay, if you did, how did you approach it, or how will you approach it? And the third question was, do we need to replace certain products, or do you think we always need to improve on them, or there are certain products that no longer need to exist around the world? And the reason because we approach them with those problems is during their education, they get introduction into mathematics, science, they learn about materials, they learn about safety, economics, statistics, and also they learn how to design processes on a large scale. However, there is a gap in designing products or that are directly related to the consumer, like end products. And we wanted to also incorporate this project-based learning throughout the whole experience of the project, not just in a course or like a project that you apply in a course, but the project itself. We also were motivated of incorporating the pillars of sustainability. So far, everything has been developed with economics in mind. Of course, if it doesn't make money, it's not sustainable. And also society need was taken into consideration. However, most of our products that we deal with are usually neglect the environment in the design itself. It's always thought of after economics have been satisfied, we think about the environment. But we wanted to our students to think about that from the beginning. And we were motivated by also the Sustainable Development Goals. And one of the Sustainable Development Goals was the sustainable production and consumption, but also innovation in industry and making things affordable for the larger population. We started with the most basic, say, product that you would interact with, which was the plastic straw. The plastic straw is a very simple cylinder, and it's made out of polyethylene that we produce as chemical engineers, and we learned how to produce that a long time ago. However, it is part of a global ecological problem, which is plastic pollution. It's a very minor part of it, but it has an impact on the ecological life. For example, you see here the picture of the turtles with straws sticking out of them. You see birds like around the world like dying with because of consumption of plastics. However, this was designed as a solution for a health problem, and when the plastic straw was designed, it came as a revolution because no longer you don't need to clean it, and it was reducing the amount of contamination. But we didn't think about the end of life. So we ended up with something that was problematic. Also, there was multiple alternative products that are available to the plastic straw. However, none of them have been widely adaptable or were able to replace it. And wanted to our students to think about how to best way to replace it and what was the shortcoming of the solutions available in the market. So we frame the problem like this. You have a plastic straw that is very cheap to make. It is safe. It doesn't interact with the liquid that you have. It doesn't melt like cardboard straws. It is accessible, it's bendy. It helps people with disability, they need it. And it matches your lifestyle. You can also use it for a single time and then dispose it. You can produce it in different colors and shapes, and is very flexible and easy to manufacture in different places in the world.
So hello everyone, my name is Al-Mohannadi. I will take it out from here. So at the initial stage of this project, once we have the student in, the objective was to set out the teams and plus which direction they would be working on. So as mentioned previously by my colleague, Dr. Dabia, we picked up the topic as a facilitator for this project and we announce it and we try to show them what this project is about. Now, after that, we start organizing brainstorm sessions, try to help them thinking about the problem and the boundary of the problem. And to think of this project that it will have a real life impact, we told them we would like you to apply your solution right away on the campus of the university. And if your solution or your idea really was brilliant, it might be that we can implement it when the when the World Cup will be organized in Qatar in 2022, which means there will be a huge amount of straw that is used, and then this will show us the impact of such a solution. So this really engage them and make them more involved with the reality. And then at that time, they didn't even know how to do brainstorming and how to work with such a problem with a multi-diverse dimension. So this was one of the learning outcomes. Now, the main outcome from this entire initial stage was each team picked a direction to go forward. In the middle stage of the project, we basically start exposing them to tools and know-how and knowledge to translate their idea or direction into a proposal which has a clear executable plan. So that is basically what we were focusing on in the middle stage and providing with mentorship toward making this concrete proposal. So the way how we organize that, we organize several workshops and seminars. In the beginning, it was organized by us as a mentors. So we first give them a workshop on sustainability and the definition of sustainability. And then we give them this house of equality, which is a methodology to design a product, take into account the bigger picture and not just the technical part. And then we start inviting people from outside the university to provide workshop and seminar to the students. So really expose them to resources and organization that can support them to execute their project. So the first one was from the education city in which we have Virginia Commonwealth University. They have how to basically design for well-being of society. And then we have two organizations. It is called Bidaya and Qatar Development Bank, which are the business incubator here in Qatar, who help people with the new ideas, how to take their ideas into the market. And then they organize workshops and seminars to the student. And the last seminars we are organizing, it's from a social campaign that is called Greener Talk, which basically focus on the trying to avoid this plastic and shed light on the plastic ocean problem. So the main outcome from their work was really to make a concrete proposal, which can be executed, but it will be executed after they finish the product X. So for us, the outcome from the product X is an executable proposal for their direction and solution they propose. So we finally help the student to make a concrete proposal. There will be an event organized in January in which they will present their solution to a wider audience, and they are now also participating in this conference to share their experience. We are organizing an informal meeting with all the people involved in this project to collect the feedback for us. And then we even made an Instagram page in which we try to engage with the society around us. Now, next year, a new project will be announced with a new product X, and then the same methodology will be used there based on the learning we have from this year. Now, where we are right now, at this moment, one of the teams selected the idea that we don't want to change social behavior, but we want to make a straw that will not basically have a problem in the ocean. So what they have in mind is they start by the literature review, trying to make benchmark and to make a metrics. But then the result was this idea. So every country has a lot of egg shells, and we have papers, which is a recycled paper. So their idea that these two solutions will be locally available. So this is an excellent idea. So they can use these resources. This is the first attempt of making this starting material. And they made a very nice poster, which was announced on social media. The second group, they actually try to focus on making a social life experiment. So they start by questioning why people use a plastic straw, and what is the effect of policies and the supply chain in the decision of people to choose a reusable or straw or the single-use plastic straw. So they started by making a survey and also looking in the literature on policies and what is available on the supply chain. So after they did the assessment, they have a couple of the questions distributed in the campus with more than around 200 people responded. They quantify how many actually straws is being consumed in the university by the student, but also most important, they know why people decide to use the single straw. Actually, the main reason, there was no alternative existing for them to use the reusable straw. And this was the motivation to start this social experiment in which we bought two reusable straw, one from plastic, one from metal. And then we are planning to do this next year, in which we will introduce this straw as part of the restaurant to the student to use them and then bring them back to the restaurant, in which they will be washed and reused again. So this is an experiment that will happen next year as part of the project and led by the student. What did we learn so far? We definitely will keep the multidisciplinary nature of the project and the business side of it. We will ensure that students will keep working on teams. That was an important learning for us. We will keep involving with the outside organization and make this session even open. The flexibility considering the COVID-19, it means, and also how to engage with the social media, with the society around us, that was also very nice and useful. Now, what we will improve is the student engagement. At the moment, all the students just did this because they like to do it. But it was also a challenge for them. So what we are doing is we start saying for next year, we will try to incorporate it as part of the credit, which means that they will do it with also accounting for their time in and more commitment. And then we will ask the stakeholders to take part in selecting the product of next year. And then we will start focusing on how to do more formal assessment and feedback for a quantification. And then by this, I give the floor to my colleague, Dr. Costas.
So product X is evolving to an incubator for the incubators. Thus, a sustainable product X, and above all, the students that participated, need a well-structured plan with beginning, middle, and an end. A plan that needs to be based on real needs, with information originating from reports, markets, related studies, and an end goal at least for the product X, that should be up to the entrepreneurship stakeholders, such as the Qatar Development Bank and the DAIA, which are organizations that foster the startup and entrepreneurship environment in Qatar. Along the way, we became aware that student interests may vary significantly, with some focused on the professional careers and others on graduate studies and research. But of course, a large number will be undecided and will look for flexibility. In addition to the end goal, students need to be incentivized with specific outcomes, such as a minor degree, a certificate, and an honors program. So what Product X did for this was to bridge the gaps between the two sides and navigate the students from the selection of a specific topic to work on to the connection with the stakeholders. It is about putting some order and structure into the chaos with workshops, courses, and of course, mentoring. It's pretty well documented that students function more efficiently when there are specific routes. Therefore, we created these routes for them to use existing and new courses. Of course, these paths and routes are not set on stone and students can jump from one to the other. Now, to sum up our proposal, our project identified the gap, thus created a dynamic and a flexible program to fill in this gap, while at the same time engaged and hopefully will continue to engage the students in societal needs, mentor them from A to Z, and what we also found along the way, attract resources from beyond the university. I am the third mentor of this group, and this is the whole team where you can read some remarks and statements for our students. We got, in conclusion, that all of them enjoying the activity, all of them learned beyond what we were expecting the activity. You can see that they're coming from different backgrounds, different majors, and this is something now that we would like to continue and expand and take advantage of this unique experiment in Education City and include more students from other universities. Thank you all for your attention and hope to have the opportunity for questions in the forum part of the session.